Cool, thanks.
All right, perfect, y'all. We are live. All right, well, welcome to today's Delta Rust Open Development Meeting. The only thing I really had on today's agenda, honestly, was the roadmap, the 3 6 month roadmap for Delta Rust going forward. And QP or Christian or Misha, Neville, if you want to add anything else to the agenda, we can actually in fact do those first, and then we can do the roadmap at the afterwards.
Sounds good. I don't have anything else to add other than the roadmap discussion.
Okay.
Yeah,
Christian?
I don't either. We're getting ready to put a stream into prod this week using Kafka Delta ingest. Other than that, I don't have anything.
Well, cool, but that sounds pretty exciting. Best of luck with it, eh?
Yeah, thank you.
Cool, of course. Neville, anything you'd like to add before we go to talk about roadmap?
Just a quick update on map support. The PR was finally merged last week. I'd been off for a while, so I couldn't finish the review. But we missed the 5.1 release, so it's going to be there in 5.2. So I suppose a question for you, Christian. Are you fine with that for now? I.e., are you going to point to master so you can have the maps on the checkpoints?
I'm actually going to be. I submitted a bug fix yesterday. Actually, you were on the PR. I'm going to be pointing to that commit for now, which which does include your map support as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's it. I just need to catch up on PRs, and then from a map support perspective, we've got the minimal implementation in the sense that I think more work is needed to be done on builders. I opened a follow-up issue on that, so I'm gonna tackle that, including integration testing and a few other things this week. I'll share the link to the issue that I opened.
Rock on. Okay. Let's see who hasn't spoke. Oh, Misha, anything you'd like to talk about before we dive into roadmap?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. And then finally, I think Zach. Yeah, Zach. Anything you'd like to chime in on?
No, I guess I can just say really quickly that Denny kind of told me about these meetings, and I had just expressed interest in like Rust and this project and stuff. So I'm just tagging along, and yeah, I'm gonna try and be available to tackle maybe some small issues. So if people have any kind of friendly stuff to help that I can help work on, then I'm happy to help out.
Awesome. We actually have a lot of issues that's tagged as good first issues. So if you really want to get your hands dirty on with Rust, welcome to start on those. We're more than happy to help give you guidance on how to complete those bug fixes.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good. I'll look through those, and I can like ping in the channel or something if I pick one up.
Yep, sounds good. All right, Denny, do we want to move on to the roadmap discussion?
Yeah, we do. Actually, I forgot that I muted myself, so I started talking and and forgot about that. So the quick context that I was curious about is if we could go ahead and like whether we tag it or like place in the Slack channel, just all the issues we think we are going to tackle in the next 3 to 6 months, so that way we can put it into a Delta roadmap. And so the idea was that at least what I was hoping to do was creating a GitHub issue that sort of detailed, that sort of included the GitHub issues of the main things that we thought we wanted to tackle in the next 3 to 6 months, like major issues, so to give people the heads up. And I'm wondering do you think that would be okay and you guys would be up for doing that?
Yeah, I think we can discuss that.
Cool. Well then, yeah. I mean, that's it. That's the open discussion. So to give you some context, I'm just going to present my screen just real quick. Let's see. Hopefully, yeah. That's what I was afraid of. But here we go. Okay. So basically, this is. Let me see if I can. There. So that way you see more of that sort of better.
Yep.
So anyways, yeah. So for example, here's some of the improvements that we've already started putting in for Delta Core, but we wanted to put things for connectors and Rust. We also have a lot of things for connectors as well. So like, for example, the Flink connector, Trino, things. Thank you, QP. Here's the one for the Rust API. We wanted to talk to you, Christian, and Neville and Misha about like anything for Kafka Delta ingest that we want to tie in. We also have other things with Power BI, Nessie, LakeFS, and so forth and so forth. So there's a whole bunch of like GitHub issues I still need to go create, and these are like the high level ones. And then the context was that I wanted to send it out to everybody, so to give everybody an idea of what's happening for the project for the next 3 to 6 months, and on top of that, give an opportunity for people to vote as well, to tell us, oh yeah, this is something we do want to go ahead and do, like we consider as a high priority or consider that as a lower priority. So for example, Neville, the tracking issue, that's a tracking issue, obviously, but for example, we have the associate issue within the Delta Rust project. So would that make sense for us to go ahead and include in the roadmap, basically?
Sounds good. Looks like we have a pretty packed roadmap for Delta.
That was the idea. I wanted everybody to grok. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff here. So yeah.
Looks pretty awesome.
Well, sometimes we can pretend to be organized. Not always, but sometimes we can pretend to be organized. Cool.
So
yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, QP.
Go ahead. I was. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so basically it was just, I was saying like, can you guys Slack me, or we can discuss right now, what are some of the overriding primary or key GitHub issues that we think we want to tackle, or features that we want to tackle for Kafka Delta ingest, SQL Delta import, Delta Rust API, things of that nature.
Yeah, so I guess I can speak for Delta RS. From script side, we are already feature complete. So script does not plan to add any major feature to Delta RS. So for the upcoming month, it will be mostly bug fixes and performance improvement. So some of the things are fixing correctness problems, formally verify the design to make sure that our distributed multi-writers design is correct. And also, and then performance fixes. For example, Christian this week fixed one of the correctness issue that he found during our internal testing. And from the community side, there's ongoing active development on the integration with the Data Fusion as the compute engine with Delta RS. There's also personally, I'm interested in performance improvements on the I/O side of things. Right now, our S3 I/O backend is pretty native, where it communicates with S3 in a single threaded way without any range support. So there's a lot of work that we can do there to improve the I/O efficiencies. So that's that's the main points that I can think of from my end. Yeah.
These are great. I mean, do you think it would be worthy for us to create GitHub issues for each one of those things, and then add what we think is appropriate in the 3 to 6 month roadmap?
Yeah, sure. We have issues for some of those, but I don't think we have one for the I/O improvement. But I can create that after the meeting.
Cool. Yeah, if you can just create that and just sort of Slack me which ones you'd like me to go add, and I'll just add them.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. How about yeah, go ahead, Christian.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So from the script perspective on Kafka Delta ingest, I'd say primarily the same thing as QP said as far as we're primarily going to be doing hardening, bug fixes, performance optimizations that are on the critical path for our production jobs. There are two things that I have in mind that might go into the 3 to 6 month range that are more feature oriented, but we don't have GitHub issues for them, and I can't say for sure that that's going to go on Scrib's roadmap. But those two things are we're definitely very interested in implementing something like the trigger once type of functionality that Spark has for streaming jobs, where rather than just having a streaming job running continuously, you run it cron style and just suck everything in that's currently in the stream source, process it, and then terminate and wait for the next cron style run. That's really effective for low volume Kafka topics. The other thing that I'm interested in doing in somewhat of a near term is having some kind of robust support for a dead letter queue in cases where particular message read from Kafka fails deserialization and or transformation or some of the validations we do before we add it to the Delta table.
That's cool. I guess one question I have is we will be having the first stable release for Kafka Delta ingest, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty big milestone.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So that's what I'm saying. So like if we could potentially put in, because technically the 3 to 6 months was supposed to start last month anyway, so it included July's work. So we can Christian, if you can just happen Slack me when you get a chance, those key GitHub issues, and then we add that milestone, right? I think that would be awesome, right? And then maybe 1 or 2 items, just like you mentioned, that you think are potential,
So are you saying the first stable release basically use that would be a milestone on the roadmap for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. I can do that.
Awesome.
So I don't have anything specific on my side. The main thing I want to do is just catch up on some fixes in Parquet specifically. But because the Apache project is going to be moving, or the Rust project is going to be moving to Arrow 2 and Parquet 2, I wanna focus on adding map support to Arrow 2 so that it doesn't block us when we do the transition. So nothing really specific. It's just going to be, I guess, keeping up with development and issues.
Okay. Well, same context. If you can add this fact as a GitHub issue, right?
Yeah.
And then we call that out, because these are all important things, right? That we're doing here. So yeah, no, I think that's a good call out.
It's going to be a lot of work. I'm curious, Naval, do you think the Arrow 2 will be switching to Arrow 2 by the end of this year or something next year?
I'm actually not sure, especially on the Parquet side. But I guess George would be the best person to answer that. But he's working quite aggressively on it, and he's starting to get more support. I'm also looking at helping on and helping out. Especially on the Parquet side, I think we'll get very good performance improvements there.
Yep. So for those who are not familiar with the project, Arrow 2 is a full rewrite of the Arrow crates in Rust, which tries to. One of the goals was to remove all the unsafe code in Rust, and at the same time gain some more performance improvement. And Naval and George, it's actively working on it.
Right. So exactly the context. These are things that we can definitely track and and toss in those. So same idea. Like, yeah, if y'all can just do that, so that way we can. And if you do me a favor and try to get it to me by like end of the day today, early tomorrow, just because we're pretty close to starting to push the roadmap out. Like I said, I was going to create a GitHub issue and then just publish it. So.
Yeah. So I guess
obviously we can edit it, and so don't get me wrong. If we realize later on, it's like, oh yeah, we realize that this is other big issue that we need to toss in. It's in GitHub, so we're not gonna. We can certainly edit it. So.
Yep. So I guess timeline wise, we will go into production with Arrow 1, and then we will evaluate when we're gonna migrate to Arrow 2 when George and Naval has a good idea on when that would be ready.
Exactly.
I know that from the discussion in the mailing list, we think that George proposed that we will have a stable maintenance window for the Arrow 1 anyway. So we'll likely be able to stay on Arrow 1 for quite a bit of time until we feel ready to do the migration.
Gotcha. Cool. Then honestly, that's it really for me in terms of like if you guys can send that stuff to me later today, early tomorrow, so then I can start tracking and adding to it. And like I said, I'll share it with everybody, or if I decide to just pop it into GitHub, that's fine. It goes to GitHub. But the idea is that it's meant to go into GitHub, so we have an open discussion there too, so we can edit accordingly too. So.
Sounds good.
All right. Cool. Well, then I will bug you guys. I'll hound you guys if you don't get to me tomorrow. But otherwise than that, I think, like, in terms of roadmap, that's really it. That's all I'm asking. So.
Thanks, Danny.
Cool stuff.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it, everybody.
Have a good day. Bye.
Cheers, everyone.
Take care, y'all.